Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So now that chest of drawers is all done, got to build a bed to match, and that should hopefully finish that room. I got another design here by Mel, and I'll put that on the screen so you can see it. There was a lot of back and forth between me and Mel to get this design just the way that really my wife wanted it. And I think we've landed on something pretty good. So what I have here in front of me looks like a lot of lumber, but it's nowhere near enough lumber to do this bed. It's about 60 board feet, and primarily this is just for the panels in the headboard and the footboard. I also picked up some 8/4, so I'll get some style material out of that, but I don't know that there's enough there to do it all. So more lumber to come, but I didn't want to put more in my shop than I had room for. So what I'm going to do for now is just start with this stuff, and I'm going to cut it down into very rough lengths and start removing the defects and see what I have, if I have enough to do the panels. So that's where we're going to get started. So all I'm doing here is having a look kind of at each board and see what defects I need to get rid of. There is some sapwood in each one, and I'll leave that there until I do my actual panel matchups, and then take off as much of that sapwood as I can, if not all of it. Okay, so that should give me more than enough for the panels. I'm several inches over, and I do still have 2 extra boards, technically 4 extra boards if I need to squeak some in. So for now, I'm just going to sticker and stack this stuff and let it rest, and then when I actually build the panels, then I'll go more into the grain matching and getting fits that look appropriate. So for now, I'm just going to sticker and stack. So I've got it all stacked up, and next we'll go after the 8/4, just like we went after that stuff. That'll be for all the styles on the headboard and the footboard, and then we'll just let that stuff rest, and then we'll final mill it right before we need it. Okay, so there I got the 8/4 on the pile as well as my extra material. And we'll do all the final milling and grain matching when we actually build the panels. But next up, we got to get going on the legs. And as soon as my 12/4 material gets here for the legs, that's what we'll do next. All right, well, the 12/4 is in. It is certainly way more than I need. For the most part, it's fairly flat. There's a little bit of movement to them, but not too bad. So I want to be able to see the grain to pick out the leg stock that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and get my shop set up and skip plane these, and then use this template that I made off camera. It's just a profile of the leg template, and I'll put a picture of it here on the screen so you can see what the measurements are. But I want to know where this goes on here so that I get the best use of the grain from the stock that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and skip plane these up, and then we'll start picking out material. We need 2 headboard legs and 2 footboard legs. So give me a couple of minutes and we'll get these skip planed. Okay guys, so I'm not sure exactly how well this shows up. This is all very nice straight grain through here, and I think that I'll get a couple of get a single really nice board out of this one. I looked at going this way on this side, But I get over into here and I'm back into the cathedrals down at the feet again. And I have enough material here, so I don't think that that was my best option. But I think if we jump over here and go this way, then I think it ends up a very nice option. And then the other side of these, the straight grained area, will become the footboard pieces. These two boards have a fair share of sapwood on the back side, as well as they've got some twist in them. So I was going to lose a little bit more thickness than I would like to get those flat and square. Where these are, even though they've only been skip planed on the one side, these are relatively flat. So I think we're going to go with these boards and just get everything marked out. And I'll leave myself plenty of extra room. Okay, so now we got these pieces cut down to a more manageable size. We can work with this kind of stuff. So tomorrow morning when I come out, we'll work on getting these flat and square and truly trued up to final widths. And then we'll go ahead and mark our parts on there again and get them cut out and maybe get to going on some joinery. And that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so all the joinery comes off of this front edge. So I'm going to use my jointed edge to my benefit, make sure it's lined up well, and then mark out the rest. I'll go ahead and get those little angles at the top. Those should be 5-degree angles. And then when we make this cut, I'll be able to take this to the joiner as long as I stay outside my line and make this edge perfect as well. Okay, so now that that's off the joiner, I know that I have just perfectly square edges to do all of that joinery on the face of these, which is where all the joinery comes from. The joinery goes in the side, but it's all based off the face. So, and I also double check, and I am right on my 5-degree angle. So that's all looking good. Let me get the other one cut. And then we'll work the insides together. We'll clamp the two together and work the insides as one piece so that they're identical. Okay, so there's the show faces on our legs. They still need to be sanded and cleaned up and whatnot. But I'm happy with the way they turned out. They're identical pieces, so that's a good thing. Some cleanup on the back, obviously. We're going to do that next. I have the pieces put together with double stick tape right now. I have a couple of clamps on it just to be sure. But yeah, we're going to go after cleaning up the back sides of those legs next, which aren't as critical. Okay, I'm just using a low angle jack plane here to clean up kind of the bulk of the insides of these legs. And then we'll go to the sander to get everything cleaned up. Okay, so my bottom legs are basically just square. They still have the notch at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is square this stock off at the table saw. And of course the feet get the inside taper as well that matches the outside, and then that'll tie that in with the dresser as well as the nightstands. Okay, so I've set up my stop block and the chop saw so I can cut these to final length per the drawing. Well, there you go, guys. There's the basic construction of the legs complete. Obviously we still have a lot of work to do. When we get going next time, we'll get going on the joinery. I don't know whether I'm going to start with the footboard or the headboard. I don't know that it really matters, but when we get going next time, that's where we're going to start. We're going to start putting those stiles in and creating the panels. So until next time, guys, take care.